Good morning, my beautiful divine feminines. Welcome to another episode of Feminine Talks. Today we're going to be talking about extremely important topic. If you are on a journey of twin flames, if you are an activated twin on a journey, it's incredibly important to understand this topic, especially for the feminine, because we lead the way in the 5D, right? We lead the way on a level of the soul, on a level of spiritual aspect of this journey. But it's also important for the masculine. So if you are masculine watching, it is important for you as well. Granted, the masculines in the beginning of the journey not going to be thinking in enough of an open-minded mindset to listen to what I'm about to tell you. But if you are farther along the way, the journey, maybe this will help you to understand certain things as well. So today we're going to be talking about illusions on the journey. There are very strong illusions that are being created through the physical world, through the matrix, through the patterns, through societal norms that we are meant to break as part of this journey. And I've listed out a couple of the most important ones that I feel, and from my experience, are those that for us feminines, they keep you stuck for a very long time. They can keep you stuck because you're not fully understanding these concepts. So sometimes, and I talk about this a lot, sometimes we hear certain concepts, but we're not, it's like we're understanding what someone is saying, but understanding and hearing is one thing, and truly embodying and integrating is another thing, right? So sometimes it's like, as a feminine, you know these things, but on a daily basis, as you're feeling your emotions, you don't necessarily translating these correctly, or out, maybe not correctly, but automatically to all the patterns and all the things that are happening. Again, because we work, this is what we say when we say break the matrix, break the pattern, get out of the physical ego mind of the societal conditioning, because all those automated things, responses, how we feel, how we act, they're deeply rooted in our subconscious. This is why it's so important to release that, because many times most people work on autopilot, right? So we do things, we think that we're free, we think that we're taking decisions, but they're coming from a place of fear, limiting beliefs, societal norms, cultural norms, things that we learned through our family. And it's you know, when you're healed or already on a journey of healing, it becomes so obvious to you that your whole family is bathing in their own shadows and they're projecting them on you, just like the society, right? So the fact that someone told you something, again, society, family, it doesn't mean that it's true, right? So this journey is about seeking your own truth, but it's really difficult. That's why we also say that this journey has to last long, that the separation is long, because you have to reboot your entire system, reprogram your entire mind, and teach it not to rule your soul through fear, but to feel safe and release, for the soul to be able to take over. So let's start from the first illusion that exists on this journey, that I want you to see through. And it's something that you must have heard if you are on this journey. But again, one thing is hearing, embodying is another. So the first illusion that exists on this journey is that separation is an illusion, right? Separation is an illusion, because we are one. We are always together. This is something that you have to remember. And when we think that we are separated from our twin, from our divine counterpart, we're speaking from a place of ego, right? This body is separated from the body of your divine counterpart. But the soul, we're always together. The minute, and I talk about this all the time, the minute we shed this physical body, it's like we're pulled in back together, because we're of the same frequency. And that frequency is constantly calling one for another. The frequency, the soul, they want to be merged, but the body is rooted in the in the shadows, in limiting beliefs, in the traumas, in the wounding, so on and so forth. So it's creating a blockage, right? But our souls, the souls of a twin flame pairing, they always want to be sucked in back together, right? That's why the magnetism is so strong. That's why the sensuality, that's why the intimacy, it's so powerful, because it's the soul literally screaming from inside of you, I want to be merged with the other half of me, right? So when you say you're separated, when you say you're not together, you miss him, this and that, it's an illusion. It's an illusion of the body. It's something that ego is not allowing us to fully comprehend, because I've done a video about this on my TikTok a while ago about the release of the ego, that the ego is just simply afraid, because the ego is the body, right? The ego is the physical aspect of our existence, and the ego knows that it is not eternal like soul is. It is temporary. This vessel is temporary. We will shed it, right? And the ego is afraid. So the role of the soul is to, through this journey of healing, to make it feel comfortable. This is what we call integration. We're not supposed to shame our shadows, eliminate our shadows, want to carve them out and throw them out like a tumor. We're supposed to see them, acknowledge them, understand that they're coming from a place of wanting to protect us, give them love, make them feel safe, and integrate them fully into our existence, right? So the body is scared. The body knows that, okay, we're one, the souls are one, but me, ego, this body, I only have limited amount of time, and we are in separation, right? So you have to work with that energy. Speak to your body, speak to your ego, connect to your ego, and say, it's okay. Because you may be temporary, but there is a unique vibration coming from the blend of the soul and the body that is very unique. And your soul will carry the unique print of your body for eternity. This is why we heal past lifetimes, right? This is why our soul remembers, because our soul creates a very unique blend with every lifetime, with every body, with every physical existence that we have, and it carries it within. This is how the body actually lives forever as well, right? Not to mention that past, present, future all exist simultaneously, and nothing is actually in the past. So your soul can access that frequency, that body, as much as it wants, right? It's through awareness. I talked about this in yesterday's video about past lifetimes. It's through awareness we experience this life, right? So we can come back. Side note, I feel guided to tell this to you guys. If you ever have those moments in life that you're in such an enjoyment, that you know that you want to remember this. I'm so happy, right? I want to remember this. I want to imprint this. It's actually where your higher self, your soul, is returning to these moments to relive them, because we have the ability to do that as souls. This is why it's so intense at that moment, because your soul actually enjoyed it and it is returning. It's there with you, right? So you have to train yourself, train your ego, train your mind into understanding, all right, he's now not with me. He's now on his own quest, whatever is it that he's doing. In the physical, we're not together, but this is already mine. Take a step back, become that awareness, and say, okay, what I'm living right now is a moment of now. Is a moment of now that I have to enjoy. I have to truly feel the moment of now, because something beautiful is happening in the moment of now. And I'm not going to be thinking that the other half of my soul, his physical form, is not with me, because he actually is. He always is. We are always together. Our higher selves are always with us and with our counterpart, right? So if you are in physical separation right now in the 3D, your higher self is always guiding you, and the higher self of your twin is always with you, guiding you as well. So it's sort of a package deal that we are experiencing. So I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying it's easy. It requires time, but you have to constantly remind yourself that if you struggle, I'm gonna talk through 5 illusions on this journey. You can just grab Post-its and put every name of the illusion, put it on your mirror in your bathroom, and every day as you wake up in the morning, this is an illusion, this is an illusion, this is an illusion, and this is an illusion. Right? I have to overcome this, right? My soul knows, my soul remembers. And I done another video that can be helpful. I'm not going to be mentioning again because I don't want to prolong this one. It makes no sense. But if that's something that you struggle with, find on my playlist, Feminine Talks, there's a video that talks about how to make it easier in separation, how to survive. I believe that was the title, how to survive separation. So it's illusion. We're always one. We're forever connected through red threads. Energetically, we're always connected. Our souls are always connected. Our higher selves are always with the both of us. We're always one, right? Now, the second illusion of this journey is, in the beginning of this journey especially, then through in and out phase and through separation phase, it seems like your masculine is rejecting you. But he is not actually rejecting you. He is teaching you. You have to remember that as souls, when we come into a lifetime, we incarnate here, we have a specific mission. We have a specific objective. I spoke about this again in yesterday's episode. And we see sort of an overview of what's going to happen, right? And we have contract with our divine counterpart, because this lifetime, if you watched yesterday's episode, it's going to make sense to you. If it doesn't, perhaps it's something that you should do. We have a karmic contract with our divine counterpart, right? There are certain things that we have to clear out between each other from past lifetimes, and also we're supposed to help ourselves mutually to clear out certain things from our past lifetimes that we've lived even without each other, right? So we have certain karma, certain experiences, certain patterns that we're repeating, certain woundings that we didn't manage to heal through these lifetimes, especially powerful through the lifetimes that we've shared. And we have to clear them, right? Sorry. So you sign this contract with your divine counterpart and you say, I will show you this. I will teach you this for you to heal that wounding, to clear that karma between us. Whatever happened in past lifetimes, this is the lifetime. This is the lifetime that we're going to get activated. We have to clear it all, right? We have to clear it all. So certain things on this journey have to happen. And one of these things is that because the feminine, right, it's in nature of our essence, how we as this feminine energy respond to rejection, to abandonment, that we build anxiety, right? So the masculine deals with abandonment and rejection as well, but they build avoidance as their armor. We build anxiety, right? So in order to heal that, we have to be completely rejected, completely abandoned. Sometimes we have to be thrown into a karmic fire, into a center and the darkest point of our wound to actually realize, I still have that. I have to heal that. And who better to show us that we have abandonment than our masculine to abandon us? So it's part of the journey. We've agreed to this. We knew as a soul, we will get activated to this journey, but you'll have to abandon me. You'll have to reject me. You have to choose someone else over me. You will have to ghost me. You will have to continuously not be showing up for me, so I can be left literally as vulnerable, as naked, as in pain as possible, to meet that part of myself that needs to be healed. So obviously it's happening unknowingly and unwillingly, because the masculine doesn't remember. Once we blend into this body, we don't remember. So he's doing it. It's sort of an automated pilot through also the wounds. It's all part of a chain reaction. It's all a master plan. It's all a chessboard, right? But whenever you're suffering and you're feeling he's not here, he's rejecting me, he's not responding to my messages, he's not showing up, he's ghosting me, he's constantly running back to his karmic patterns or karmic ex-partners or other women, right? It has to happen. It's part of your karmic contract. He is not rejecting you. He is teaching you. He is helping you to remember how to be divine feminine. He's helping you to remember who you are. He is activating all the woundings, so you have no other choice but to reach into your soul and really understand, what is it that you need to heal? What is it that is still blocking you, right? So he is our teacher, and I talk about this all the time, that it's not just him for us, it's us for him as well. We are each other greatest teachers from day one of this journey, from day one. In reality, sometimes even before, because remember what I mentioned, your higher self is with him all the time, and his higher self is with you all the time. But it's not just from the moment of activation, it's from the moment of birth. From the day you are born into this life, the higher self, the soul of your divine masculine, of your divine counterpart and your divine feminine is with you every day. This is why we feel this, on some subconscious level, we always feel there's someone out there for us, that there's something waiting for us, that love is wonderful, that love is beautiful. It's the presence of both of the higher selves with us from day one, from our birth. That helps us and guide us to through this journey, right? So remember, he is not rejecting you. He is teaching you. And in the same way, without you knowing, some of the things that triggered him, you won't find out until you actually in union and you start talking to each other in the physical, like, oh my God, when you did this, I went like completely crazy, right? Because we're not coming from a place of maliciousness or, we just do things that they're either automatic responses or they're armored, shielded responses, right, to triggers that we send towards our counterpart, or sometimes they're just normal things. Sometimes we're not doing or saying anything wrong, but simply because they are wounded, they really react in a very intense way, right? So it's on a level of subconsciousness, on the level of the soul. That soul pushes us to do and say certain things that have to happen, right? So again, build that compassion, understand that you must have done certain things unknowingly to him as well, and he's not rejecting you, he is teaching you. Okay. The third illusion that I want to talk to you about, very important illusion on this journey, is a runner chaser, right? And it's something that, a lot of coaches, readers, divine feminines, experts in the field talk about this. And as much as sometimes it's helpful, it's similarly to any label, right? Sometimes it's helpful to put a label on something to understand it better, like anxious, avoidance, runner, chaser, extrovert, introvert. But we have to release this label because it's a tool that helps us to understand. But once we understand, we have to release it, because when we attach too much, I'm going to be doing another separate episode about detaching and releasing the label. It sort of conditions our behavior, right? It's like we walk with this label. So if you attach too much to the fact that he's a runner and you're a chaser, you're gonna misunderstand this journey, because in reality, runner and chaser is a dynamic of avoidance and anxiety that is something that exists on a physical level, on a level of 3D, right? On a level of reaction, visible to the eye of the body, the physical eye of the body, right? But in reality, you are both running away, and you are both in avoidance and in anxiety. It's just that you focus too much on the physical, and the physical is an illusion, right? So you think that he is running away from you, but in the same time, you are running away from the truth. You're running away from your authentic self. You're running away from healing. You're running away from accepting accountability. You're running away from turning the finger towards yourself. You're running as well. And I always say that, and many people who've been through this journey understand that what the masculine is running away from, it's not actually you, but it's who he sees in your eyes, that mirror. Remember, in one of the videos I've done, I can't remember what video was it, but I've given an example. If you've watched the show Grimm, and in this show, at one point of the show, he asks someone, one of the vessels, how do you know I'm a Grimm? How do you know whenever you turn into this monster, how do you know that I'm a Grimm and I see you as you turned, right? And they say, because your eyes turn into darkness and we can see the reflection of our monstrous selves, and it scares the hell out of us. And that's exactly how the masculine feels, and you as well, right? So you too, the feminine, are not yourself with him. You too are not your authentic self. You too put on a mask, not to scare him, not to lose him, not to push him towards ghosting. You too are afraid to be who you are. You don't even know who you are at this point, right? Whether you want to accept it right now or not. So he is running in the physical, but you are running away as well from your self-worth, from your authentic self, from the essence of your soul, from the fact that you are a goddess. You're supposed to be running towards yourself, not towards him, right? And it seems like he's the one that is in avoidance, but you're avoiding as well. You're avoiding the truth. You're avoiding to accept that you're mirrors, that you are mirrors, that whatever you see in him is a reflection of what you are refusing to see in yourself. And we say that with every relationship, which is true on the level of any relationship, right? You can talk about your parents, your children, your friends, your partners, your karmic partners, your neighbors even, right? Every person that stands in front of us, how we respond to what they're doing, what they're saying, who they are, is a reflection of something. If it's not neutral, if it's not loving and understanding, but if it triggers something within us, is a reflection of part of our psyche that we refuse to accept, right? So everything, because we are awareness experiencing this human lifetime, all that exists is us. So the external world is actually just tools from the universe that are supposed to help us to see things that we're not seeing internally, see patterns that we're not seeing internally, parts of our psyche that we're refusing. It's a classic example of, women who are afraid to be seen and colorful, and they judge other women who do that. It's not actually you judging some other women that does that. It's actually your fear within that cannot accept that you cannot be how she is, right? So it's causing that hatred, that's the judgment. And this effect is 1,000,000 times stronger and magnified within your twin, right? So whatever you feel, he's running, you're running, he's avoiding, you're avoiding. It's just a different thing. And sometimes this mirror exercise is twisted and understood in a very shallow level, right? So there are some people online who say that it means that if he is not responding to your messages, where are you not responding to yourself? It's not as easy, right? It's not as easy, because what you're actually are running away from, it can be something very different. It's not like this 100% mirror, whether we wish it was that easy. But if he is rejecting you and he's running away, it means that there's still parts of yourself that you have not accepted, that you've not discovered, right? And I always, we'll talk about this as we move to the next illusion, which is a very important one. He is not behind, right? And this is something that a lot of feminine, I feel like it's one of the biggest blockers. And a lot of feminists for a very long time think that my masculine is behind. And I've done a whole video about this, about him being behind. It's an episode that talks about what happens with him when you're going through certain stages of the journey. So comparison, journey of the masculine, journey of the feminine, it's important to understand. But just like I mentioned in the beginning, remember that you plan this. You see the whole thing before it happens as souls. So it's not like he's behind. It's just that you've done it first and now it's his turn. And a lot of feminines sit there thinking that I'm already healed, I'm already in the union, I'm already ready, and he's not there because he's choosing the ego, because he this and this and that. You're judging him. You're judging where he's at. You're falling into the illusion that he's not behind. You're not supposed to see where he's at. Do you know what I mean? You're supposed to embody detachment and unconditional love and compassion towards your masculine. Doesn't matter where he is. So it's another illusion. He is not behind. You are always equals, right? He's not behind. You are always equals. So if you think it's one of the biggest issues that the feminine, has to release on this journey, that in the end, even when you already think that you do it from a place of like peace and love and light, the moment you point finger towards your masculine, he's running, he's staying in the ego, he's behind, he's slow, he's still choosing distractions. It is you. It is you. It is impossible. And I talk about this all the time. It is impossible that you are at peace, centered, healed, in inner union, 100% your authentic self, on a mission, and he's not here in the physical. Okay? Get that into your head. Allow it to sink in. Integrate that idea. So if he is not around you, it's because you still have something to do, something to conquer, something to heal, something to integrate. And in the later stages of the journey, granted, it is very difficult, because to an outside observer and even to ourselves, it feels like we're already good, we're happy, we're healed because we're at peace, we're thriving. But again, I always say this, healing is like wandering and being lost in a forest. Sometimes it feels like you enter a place, I've already been here, I've done this. But it's never true. Because maybe you've been in this place of the forest, but it's been a while ago, you've changed. You're entering now as a different person. And the forest has changed as well. So there's a darkness in there that you weren't ready to face before. And maybe it's a detail. Maybe it's, something very hidden and very subtle. But you still have to heal that. If you were completely ready for union would happen. Right? Many feminists are not as ready and as amazing as they think. It's an illusion. Remember, he is never behind. You are equals. And granted, there is a bit of a physical gap, right? So from the moment you actually enter your state of union, release, divine feminine glory, there may be few months, right? Few months. It's difficult to say how many. In my experience, what I feel, what I've received also in my experience, and what I've received also as a divine information, is that it can be anywhere from, 3, 6, 9, 12 to some pairings. So on an average, 6 months. But it's literally impossible that you are sitting for years on end, ready for union, and he's not there. It's impossible. It is impossible. Again, allow that to sink in. He is not behind. You are always equals. Okay? And the last thing that I want to talk about is not so much a specific illusion. These are the core 4 illusions that you need to constantly remind yourself of. Again, use the post-its if you need to. But I want to talk about something that we often forget on this journey, both masculine and the feminine, because we look from our own perspective. This is that ultimate test of oneness, of compassion, of unconditional love towards each other, to release how we see the other person and how we see what's going on with them. So what do I mean by that? That reflection, how you see your counterpart, is actually a reflection of that core theme that you have to work through and release on this journey. So the feminine, starting from the feminine, you're going to be looking at your masculine through in and out phase, through separation, right? And you're going to be thinking, he's rejecting me. He doesn't care. He is with another. He is behind. He is stuck. He chooses ego. But in reality, those things are the dark side of the coin of the things that you really have to integrate and embody, which is the oneness, the connection to the divine, the understanding that we are one soul. Again, he is not behind, he's not rejecting me, it's all part of the plan. And another thing is the self-worth. The self-worth is so important for both of us to embody the energy of an alone wolf. What do I always say? True divines, we're 2 alone wolves that form a pack when we're ready, truly ready. So ready means that you're not sitting here and thinking that you're amazing and you deserve a soulmate, but it means that I have self-worth and I continue my mission, however and whatever the divine guides me. I deserve my masculine. Once he's ready, he will come in, right? So that worthiness and that connection to the divine is one of the most important things that we fully have to embody as divine feminine. And all those things that I mentioned, he rejects me, he doesn't care, he's behind, he's choosing ego, he's choosing another woman. It's something that is just an illusion, how we see things. Because it's not actually true. He's not rejecting you, he's teaching you. He's not choosing other women. He is completing his karmic contracts and karmic patterns. He is not behind, he's not in the ego. He's learning the matrix because this is part of his journey. To go through the matrix, to get to know the matrix, to one day be the breaker of the matrix and the builder of new earth. So he's doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing. Now let's reverse that, because how the masculines see us, it's also distorted. It's also through lens of illusion, right? So again, in that in and out phase and in separation phase, what the masculine sees is, okay, she fries without me. She obviously doesn't care that I'm not there. She obviously doesn't miss me as much as I miss her. She wouldn't accept the real me. She would never accept the real me. She would never accept my darkness. This dramatic, when the masculines say, no one knows my darkness and no one would accept it. Please. We eat darkness for breakfast. We're divine feminine. We're Kali energy. What do you mean we wouldn't accept your darkness? We would walk through your darkness with you, but this is an illusion, right? So they think she wouldn't accept me for who I am. She wouldn't accept my scars. She wouldn't accept my darkness. And another illusion that they think is that she is not seeing that I'm giving my best. Because one of the biggest wounds of the masculine, remember, for you it is self-worth as well, but to him is lack mentality, is worthiness issue, is I'm never enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I don't deserve this. So there's a point of the journey that the masculine is in such a low place, but he feels that love. He loves you. So it feels to him like he's giving all that he can. All that he can. It seems, and you're calling it breadcrumbs, because in reality there are breadcrumbs and it's your path to remember your worth. But to him at that moment, those breadcrumbs is everything that he can give you. So he sees that through the lens of the illusion, right? Because it's activating the wound within him. It's never enough. I give you all I can. Maybe at this point, all I can is to text you once a month or to see you once a month at night in my bedroom. But it's all I can give you. And you keep wanting more. It's just this more and more. I'm never enough. What I do, what I say, what I try, it's never enough. It's activating it within him. This is how he sees that, right? So I'm not saying that you're supposed to accept those breadcrumbs, but this is this balance. This is exactly why it exists. He has to realize that it's his existence that is enough, not what he gives. And you have to realize that with love and light, you can kindly say no and put in a boundary with someone if they are offering something that is below your values. This is how we work together. This is how it happens. And then another thing, remember I mentioned, is that, and I want to give you an example because it often happens, and it's a thing that we do some things unknowingly, but oftentimes, and I spoke about this in the video that I posted yesterday on my TikTok, that we suffer in silence. So we go through a healing of a pain. When we're activated to this journey, what happens to the feminine is that we're in so much pain, but we feel rejected, we feel abandoned by our masculine, right? So we already sense that he's afraid, that he's wounded. So we start to treat him like this scared little deer, and we walk on eggshells. So he goes ahead and he ghosts us and he disappears for a month or two or longer, and then he returns and we're like, oh, hey, sure, I want to see you. So we think that through not holding him accountable for his bullshit actions, we are actually sending an invitation that, yes, sure, please come in, because we're in longing, right? But what happens in reality is he sits at the other side, again, illusion, and he thinks, I have been thinking about this woman every single day of my life for the past month, and now I find it within me to have the courage and to actually text her, to which she responds like, oh yeah, hey, did she even notice I was gone? It's like they expect that we're going to hold them accountable. Because if we said, you know what, you have freakishly broken my heart, you were supposed to call me the next day and you were gone for like months, it would actually prove to them that we care, that we love, right? So for a very long time, just like we feel that they reject us, that they abandon us, that they're ignoring us, that we're separated and that they're choosing distractions, in the same time they think that we don't care, that we thrive without them, that they will just be a weight in our life, that we're on this pedestal and that we have this amazing life, and they're in hell, basically, because it's something that they have to deal with, right? They have to deal with their lack mentality, with their worthiness issue, with that never enough, right? So we both create an illusion. We see the other person through the veil of our own shadows, of our own shackles, of our own limiting beliefs. And we think we know what's going on, right? Again, the feminine, we think we know. He's in the ego, he's this and that. Squat. It is his journey. You are not the judge of him. You are not the judge of his journey. Focus on you. Okay? And in the same time, for the masculines, if you're masculine watching, you have to understand she's not doing amazing without you. She's in the greatest pain of her life. Again, meant to happen, but she's not doing amazing. Again, it's not that she doesn't care. And she would handle your shadows like a boss. Because that's what we do. We hold space for our masculines to heal. At one point when we get into union, right? Physical union, we still have some healing to do together to close out some past lifetimes, to close out certain things that happened in that lifetime. And we're ready to show them that, again, we embody this Kali energy. We eat your pain for breakfast and we transmute it into love. We hold space energetically, emotionally, because we are your home, right? There is no darkness that a divine feminine on a twin flame journey would not have seen through lifetimes that she has been through. We're all souls, right? So this journey is full of illusions that I want you to remember, because they're all illusions of the ego. They're all illusions of the matrix. They're all illusions of the physical world. They're all part of the journey. They're all tests, right? And the sooner you understand that, the easier it will become for you. That we're always one. That we're always teamwork. That we're always our greatest teacher. That we're always our sharpest mirror. That we are always together and there for each other. We are one. One soul split into two bodies with an objective to really be able to look into that soul. Because remember, when something is externalized, there's no better way to really see what you've been avoiding. And to us on this journey, oftentimes, these are things that we've been avoiding for lifetimes. This is it. This is the lifetime. This is the time that you're going to see this. Right? So I hope this was helpful. I've touched on these topics separately, and I went into depths in these topics again in separate videos. I have a video about, again, how to survive separation, a video about that he's your teacher, he's never behind, it's just an illusion, stages of the journey. So if you feel like this video, it's the first time you watch my series and it unraveled something for you, I recommend you to watch the other ones. I hope they will help you as well. And keep focusing on you. Keep pushing. This is how we magnetize our divine counterpart, our twin, releasing completely what's going on, releasing the curiosity, releasing the judgment, releasing the comparison, where I am, where you are, you're behind, right? Completely releasing everything that is happening on a stage, on a level of the ego, on a physical plane, because the dominion that we have to conquer is the dominion of the spiritual realm, is the dominion of the soul, right? So as long as we're going to be looking for confirmation or comparison and going back and focusing on what's going on in the 3D world, it's never going to happen. Right? So go back to yourself, go back to your soul, go back to the void, continue to heal. And remember that this journey is the greatest gift and the greatest path that one can walk. And if you feel guided to connect to me more, or all links are in the description box. If you would like to book a session with me, you can do that via Instagram direct message. Link is below. Also link with all my current offerings. And if you want to be connected to me a little bit more, I invite you to follow me on TikTok. This is where I post daily. I post collective readings, I post some spiritual content. Whenever I have a download from Spirit, I share that with you as well. I post sessions with dowsing rods, and I also post stories daily, so updates like what's going on energetically and so on and so forth. So yeah, I hope this was helpful. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. If you thought this was helpful, like, share, and comment for other feminines to be able to learn these things as well. We're in this together. We're supposed to be working together. Sister wounds. It's another topic that maybe one day I'll be able to talk about. And yeah, I will see you soon.